Hello Storytellers, welcome to Bound by Words. My name's Madii if we haven't met yet, and I am sharing my Camp NaNoWriMo July 2022 writing goals and plans and aspirations for the month. I'm really excited for this year's Camp NaNoWriMo because for the first time in probably a year and a half or more, I can really focus more on writing and drafting than I have been able to. So I started a new work in progress just a few weeks ago, and it's not very big yet, and I don't really know a lot of what's going on with that yet. It's definitely a discovery writing process. I have a couple thousand words down already. So I'm really excited for this Camp NaNoWriMo so that I can just expand on that and figure out what I'm doing and get it to a good point where I can share what I'm working on and talk more about what it is. I know it's definitely high fantasy right now, and it's probably YA age group so far. That's sort of what I'm shooting for, but I might have to tweak and adjust that as I write. I don't really know. But the one thing that I'm most nervous about is I decided this year to pick my worst thing to work on, and I think that's a good thing. We should work on our weaknesses, and for me that's time. Finding a consistent amount of time to spend on writing, specifically writing and creating progress with the product of the novel and not just doing things that are writing related. So I want to spend, I think I've picked 30 hours. And I do think that's pushing it for me because I won't be able to dedicate an hour a day, but I do have days where I sit 4 hours at a time. But I'm sticking with 30 hours because it's a nice even number and it'll definitely be a challenge, but I want to have 30 hours of work towards my novel specifically this month. Now, if I'm doing things that are writing related but not for my novel, I'm not going to count them in my 30 hours of time. So if I create mood boards or playlists or something. I don't normally do that anyway, to be honest. I don't usually have Pinterest mood boards for my writing. I do sometimes use Spotify playlists or YouTube playlists, but I often use ones that are already pre-made. So if I get the overwhelming urge to create something like that to assist me in my writing progress, I'm definitely going to do it, but I'm not going to count that in my 30 hours for writing. I'm also not going to count anything that I do to progress my writing skill in general. So for example, I'm writing The Plot Thickens, which is a really good book by editor Noah Lukeman. He wrote the first 5 pages, which is another great book on writing, but I'm reading through that now, and it is a lot of how to tell fiction in a way that it comes to life kind of book. And I'm not going to count any of the reading for that or any other exercises or reading that I do for writing in general. None of that counts for my July Camp NaNoWriMo goal, but I will say that I am going to count anything that works towards the creation and growth of my novel itself. So not just adding words, but if I'm researching something for the novel specifically, or if I am spending a little bit of time organizing the novel, or if I'm planning or plotting or researching different ways of planning for the novel, I will probably count that, but I'm going to try to be a little bit strict with myself. So if I go down a rabbit hole and I can't decide on characters' names and I spend 3 hours looking at character names, I don't know that I would necessarily count that. If I start looking at planning and plotting methods and I spend a lot of time doing that and I don't really pick one or decide really what direction I want to go, it might be a case-by-case basis. If I did something that I feel had some sort of product that helped the novel, I might count it, but overall I'm not going to count any time that I sort of waste doing writing related tasks. So to help keep myself on track throughout the month and just keep a good handle on how much time I'm spending doing each thing, I'm going to create some sort of log where I can write the day and how much time I spent doing whatever the thing is. I don't really know what that's going to look like yet, but it's definitely very high up on my to-do list. And just sitting here thinking about it, I would really like the idea of having no more than a third of the time that I spend working on this month be for research or planning or whatever else. So it would be nice if I did at least 2/3 or more of the time drafting new words would be the goal, but that's not a strict part of my goals or plans. It's sort of just something I have in the back of my head. Maybe after I do make the log that I'll pick a certain percentage. So the NaNoWriMo website lets you pick a word count goal. I'm pretty sure for Camp NaNoWriMo it still just lets you select words. I haven't made my project yet, so I don't know if they updated that or changed it. That's my first thing on my to-do list after I'm done filming this, but I'm going to put minutes instead of hours. That way if I spend 20 minutes or 40 minutes here and there doing stuff, that I can track that a little bit closer. So 30 hours is like 1,800 minutes. I'll probably check my math there before I make my project on the NaNoWriMo website. But on top of having that like overarching goal of spending this much time, I'm gonna have tasks that I want to complete in my novel as well. But as of now, that's the idea of that is sort of that it's going to be a rolling checklist. So I'll probably spend the next few days putting items on the to-do list, but then as I check them off, I'm probably going to continue to add them. So I'm okay if I finish the month with 30 hours, but like an incomplete checklist, as long as, you know, I spent 30 hours working, that would definitely be a win for me, and I think the manuscript and the idea would grow a lot from that. But this rolling to-do list is going to help keep me on task throughout the month while I'm working on my project, and it's also going to help give me smaller goals. So I know I have a couple things that are just going to be like quick checklist items, but I'll probably end up adding some things that might be like longer project goals. First, I definitely want to add my project to the NaNoWriMo website, and then one of the goals that I definitely know that I want to hit by the end of the month is I want to create a working title for the project itself. Whether it's project something, or if it has like a fake title or a placeholder title, whether I brainstorm and take a vote, by the end of the month I want to have something to call this project. I've been working on it for about 2 weeks now, and it's a little bit annoying to be like, it's a new work in progress, I have no idea what's going on yet, but I'm really excited about it. I'll probably end up adding some things to the to-do list, like structural decisions. I had thought for a while that I might want to do dual point of view. I haven't written anything in the second point of view yet, but it's something that keeps coming to mind as like an idea that I want to try or play around with and see if I like. It is only a couple thousand words right now, so there's plenty of time to do stuff like that. So I'll sit down over the next probably day or two. I'll probably give myself a deadline for that, and I'll add my initial checklist items to either a file in Scrivener or its own checklist, or I might even pull out that black whiteboard that I've used for projects in the past and put them on there, because I really do like that whiteboard, so that's probably what I'm going to do. Something I definitely want to make sure I'm doing over this month of writing and community events and everything is I want to keep track of my project in Scrivener. This is something that I was bad at, like really bad at with my first novel, is that I like to write in different writing software, and I still do, you know. If I stare at Scrivener for hours and hours and hours and I want to write, but I really need a break from that interface, then I really don't mind using Google Docs or Word or For the Words, which is a writing RPG, and I'm totally okay jumping in between software like that. But I want to get into the habit of collecting it all frequently and organizing it in Scrivener, whether that's every writing session or, you know, every other. I don't want to go any extended period of time without organizing my work in the Scrivener binder, because my first project, I would just date like everything that I wrote. Like every document, it would either be titled the date or the first thing on the document would be the date, and then I would continue to write my story. And I thought it would be really easy to like compile everything at the end. But it was really annoying, and it made me feel like everything was cluttered and hard to manage, and it was super discouraging when it came to like the editing stage, and it came like close to the end of the first draft, and it just, I think, prevented me from being really successful with that book. But that was my first novel. I've had a lot of experience since then, but organization has just never been my strong suit. It's something that I sort of change how I do with each project. So this project, I am trying to organize everything in Scrivener, and I think that this is going to work out really well, and I think I'm going to want to do this for other books in the future, because it gives me the flexibility to write wherever and however I want, whether it's in Scrivener or not, but then also just have everything in one spot. It's not like a folder on my computer that has like a bunch of files dumped into it. It's not a folder in Google Docs that has a bunch of like documents that are in the cloud. I did take some time just a few days ago to sync my Scrivener on my iPad to the Scrivener on my computer, so that no matter where I am at, I sort of have the same document to work with. So that was an exciting first step to this organizational plan. And yeah, I'll probably add some community tasks to my rolling to-do list, like a certain number of live streams I want to attend, or a certain number of live streams that I want to host, or maybe even in-person write-ins that I want to have. One of my closer friends, her name is Carrie, she's also writing fantasy right now, so it would be cool to do like an in-person write-in, or like my dad is normally very busy, but he does like the NaNoWriMo events, so if he has time I might organize a write-in with him. But overall, my goal is time, and if I make it to the end of July and I can spend 30 hours working on my project, then I'd be really happy with that. I am already a day behind because it is July 2nd as I'm filming this, But I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm ready to get started. I have been excited for the last few weeks. I just had a busy last couple of days with some family stuff, so I wasn't able to kick it off on July 1st the way that I wanted. But I think that it will be okay. So my first thing that I'm going to do, other than collect that like information that I told you, like make my Camp NaNoWriMo project and start my to-do list, then I'm going to create my time log so that I have some way to organize and record what I'm working on when, and I can sort of compare how much time I'm spending writing versus other things. Then I'm going to go into some light research into the 27 chapters method of planning. I mentioned this in the last vlog that I filmed. I have only done some brief research on it now, and I was a little bit disappointed with what I found, but I think I just need to do a little bit more digging. There's not a lot on YouTube, but there might be on writing blogs and stuff. If you're really familiar with the 27 chapters method of planning, then let me know down below. Chat with me on Instagram, or if you have a great resource that you use, please share it, because it's something that I like hearing about, and I really like how a lot of creators are talking more frequently now about like, I have this many chapters to write, or I have this many chapters to like rewrite or edit. But I have definitely seen a lot of people recently just plan out their chapters and being able to talk about like, I have 26 chapters planned and I'm on this one and this is how I think it's going, or like I need to skip this one for this reason. And I think having that kind of like checklist would really help me progress in the story. It's something I really liked in the beat sheet method of planning, because the beat sheet, whenever you plan, really makes it sort of a checklist. Like, I have to accomplish this and I have to accomplish this, and then like next is this. It's the next logical progression of what I need to do, and I really like that. But it can be a little daunting on a bigger project, and I wasn't actually planning on like plotting or planning or outlining this project. I definitely wanted to discovery write, but I am experimenting with some short-term planning that I can do. So with the 27 chapters method, from what I've seen, it seems like I might be able to like plan the first 9 chapters a little bit, and then the second 9 chapters when I get close to the end of what I have already written. So that's sort of where my mind is there, but I don't know how that's going to work out yet. Probably going to do a little bit of research. But like I said, I don't want even half of my time to be spent doing research, because I feel like that would be a waste. So it might just be that I set a timer and I say, well, let's see what I can figure out in 20 minutes, and if I don't have any answers or anything exciting that I want to use in my own writing after 20 minutes of research, then I just shelf that for now and get some words done. But not only am I excited to buckle down and get more serious about this project and really start developing it a little bit faster, I am really excited just about the community aspect of Camp NaNoWriMo. I want to hear what you guys are working on. I want to hear if you're writing or editing. I want to hear what you accomplished last Camp NaNoWriMo and just how your summers are going, because write-ins, I think, are one of the only things that keep me like accountable to continuing with my project. So if you want to do write-ins, if you want to do them on YouTube live or over Discord, or if you want to do any writing challenges or events together, then make sure you let me know. Whether you're a creator or not, you don't have to be a creator to do writing challenges. We can set something up on Instagram. And yeah, I'm just excited to get started, so I'm going to stop talking to you and I'm going to go do that. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys next time.